Peace and love. This is Miss May. Welcome. It's been a while since I've made a video. I've been busy with my own life and my business and homeschool and just that whole part of responsibility. But today it is November 1st, 2022, and I'm sitting here, after my meditation and affirmations, and I'm needing to get up and straighten up for the day and get things going. But I'm sitting here, listening to some really good frequency, and I just thought I'd just jump on here and go ahead and just speak my mind and how I'm feeling right now. I just want to say I had a great time yesterday for Halloween. Start that off. That's like one of the best holidays that myself and my family we really look forward to that time of the year. It's something about fall and everything just coming back down. It's not hot anymore. Leaves are falling. There's a lot of change happening. And when you're moving in the direction of moving forward, especially when you have that, that rhythm going, it's really nice. I appreciated yesterday and the energies and just how it turned out for myself, my children, and my husband. It was really nice, and I appreciated it. Today, I woke up, really feeling this time, with these eclipses happening, those that do look at those planets, on how we also live and move, and how the planets and things like that are affecting us. And so those that do understand that, I can say that since the eclipse, it's been really heavy for me. And very challenging at that, things that I felt in the past that I was done, with seem to surface back up, and of course having to deal with that once again can be challenging. But I can say prior to this eclipse, I have been on my inner work, and I just want to say that is so important for those that are looking for healing at this time. I get it. I totally get it. I surely wished we all can just be at peace with ourselves, when we are discouraged and disappointed. And our feelings, our emotions are valid. And it's just acting upon them is the big test. Whatever that challenge may be, whatever area that may be, work, family, yourself, past trauma, relationship, marriages, for myself through the process. I've been dealing with my own, demons for some time, and and it was needed. And for me, I call that shadow work for myself, and it's not a comfortable place to be. It will have you not wanting to deal with it whatsoever. It is a different emotion that has not been recognized until it happens. And sometimes there's no control over that. And I mean, like, the feeling you feel inside, the uncomfortability, like you don't feel solid, and to have to deal with everyday life, aside from that, it can be challenging. For me, I'm a creator, and I love to create in all directions. And when things are not stable in my in my home or whatever I have going on, it's really hard to put myself in my creative mode. So I had to make a decision. Either I stay in this uncomfortability, or I find an outlet to be able to get through this. And at this time and at my age, my outlet is not another person's opinion. Let me say that. I've had my fair share of that. And I feel like that's a level of growth, because you don't know when these things happen. You don't know when you finally recognize that maybe some things or some people or energies may not have your best interest after all. When those things come up, or just even past trauma from our childhood, depending on what area of challenges it may be, they do become heavy. And so for me, I had to really, I really had to go through the death process. And when I mean not literally die and go underground, physically, but internally, yes, I had to really completely shut down at a very high speed of pain. Like literally just get to ground zero, basically, and work my way up. But this time, because I've had obstacles growing up, I'm 41, so I've had my lessons throughout my time. And I've always in the past kind of just went to those that were more experienced in what they would do when they are going through challenges. And it didn't work out. It helped for the moment, get my mind clear, and obviously I thought at the time I'm completely good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And that's that support. That is cool. You can have support, but to take someone else's opinion on what they feel should be the right decision for you, no, I'm sorry. You're wasting your time, because everyone has their own way of doing things. Everyone. It sounds, positive and all that, but they can't guarantee a great result. So I would say support, that's great. So I, for one, had to do my own inner work, where I had to really go into isolation from everything. Like, not isolation, solitude. I take that back. They just seem solitude. I'm sorry. Really just cutting myself off from the world. Not to the point where you can't see me, but I'm very active with my family when we do have those moments. But if anything, we're all creators in my home. So, there's a lot of drive in this house when we huddle, and that's that. But, when it comes to having to do that work for yourself, when you reach that point, it's so important, because you know everything. I know everything. No, there's nothing outside of me. I had to come into that understanding. And in order to really know what you're really saying, everything must be shut down. Cutting the time on social media, because there's constant influence, there's constant everything. It just seems like it, certain social media is coming at the right time when there are challenges. And to be honest with you, I just feel like there's so much more that we don't know, and how powerful these social medias are, and how they're very they influence programming, however that's said that it's just it can take over people's perception on certain things, and it's not cool because it just sets us back. I know that for sure by experience. So I'm just grateful at 41, even though I'm feeling this time right now, through these eclipses, I'm just expressing more gratitude for the fact that I'm feeling this change. I'm feeling and I'm knowing that whatever I'm having to release, my habits, my bad habits, how I look at things, how I'm showing up in the world, how am I treating my family? How am I treating myself? First of all, how am I treating myself? Let me go there first. I'm still, wanting to be at that level, as simple as it sounds. But because, of how I'm built internally, my love is so deep, it's not even funny. My heart is just beyond my own physical flesh like that. When I'm in that pure part of me, of my love for myself and my family, it's just magical, and I don't have to, prant around the house with that, saying it. I'm doing it, and then I'm seeing the reaction from my family when I get into that place. But do I have that every day? No. We all have different lives in this house aside from us all in one home. We all have different challenges. And so I do know that we can collide at times, especially myself and my husband. So I'm having to learn more about myself, understanding both the feminine and masculine within me to be able to really have a healthy communication at this time in my relationship with my husband. I'm at a 13-year cycle. And it's at that point, some people won't understand what I mean, but there are cycles to these relationships, and they get tested to be able to reach the next peak of the relationship. And it's not simple. Some may not understand that concept because it just hasn't been fulfilled. It's so much separation and division now. It's not even funny. Like now I'm going to have to put myself as, how am I going to show up in this world? What part am I going to play in my life or around people that I walk past or even engage in? And I made a choice. I made a choice to be very loyal to myself and others, honest, a woman of her word, to her family and to those that I surround myself with. To have more compassion and kindness, without having expectations, doing things because out of the kindness of your heart, not because, A, B, and C. That is what's coming in right now with everything that I've dealt with in my past. My marriage is also being tested. And my, business is also being tested. And on top of that, having to deal with every day and of course your family at the same time, balance. And so what I mean by that is just understanding what are the qualities of a feminine? What is the qualities of a masculine? When you understand that and know that you have both, it's like, okay, when you're seeing a trait of a more of a feminine aspect, and that's going to be, you're going to know you're off balance because you need to balance it out with the masculine. You need to, get into more grounding techniques, using tuning forks to tune yourself. And these are tools aside from the work we have to do internally, meditating. It takes a lot to, be on this planet, especially to be great. But we do live amongst people that are the opposite. and that is out of our control. And that is why I say, how do we show up? How do I show up? And so I come in peace. I refuse to be deceitful. I refuse it. There's too much of this going on, and it's not healthy. We are energy, frequency, and vibrational beings. How can you not feel the difference? And for me, I feel better inside, knowing that I'm playing a healthier part aside from my own and demons that I am now ridding myself with, and really looking in the mirror on my shadow self that doesn't need to be here anymore. I know it exists, those parts of me, but it's not going to take over my life. It's time for the greatness in me to just go ahead and pop up and just say, you know what, this is how I'm going to ride out the rest of my entire time here, on top of whatever I have to do. My mission here on this planet, if it be just speaking about my experience, creating, loving my family and my husband more, just, being of service of whatever kind that needs be, I'm grateful for it. I'm all with it. I'm all in. But to be deceitful and, all that craziness that's happening right now, I'm good. Because the return at the end of that ain't worth it. You can't cash that in. I'm sorry. You could go ahead and ride it, but you can't cash it in. Those times is done. We coming into a place of peace. We really are. We really gonna come in a place of peace, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, for those that are having these challenges, meditate. Look into ways to ground yourself, how to deal with now. How can we use this time as a collective, those that can understand what I'm saying and what we're feeling at this moment with these challenges. Let's find an outlet that works for you. And so on top of my own experience with my meditation, my affirmation, even scribing, which I write in a journal daily, and it just increases more healing within me, more reminders within me, with my busy self, that just, it just kicks in when it needs to kick in, and then fills me up with more love. Things like that. Also, what else? Definitely grounding for sure. We do have here where I am, there is a spring that during this time it is a bit chilly, but if you can get to a stream and put your feet in there, that too is so relaxful. It does bring a lot of peace, inner peace, so I could make better decisions, so when things do come up at this time, that I'm going to be able to be comfortable while I'm going through this change within me, being able to accept the change within me, being able to release without having to hold on. These are the, that part that triggers, like, oh my goodness, like inside that feels like, I don't like this. This is just, I need to run from it. No, don't run from it. If you can, this isn't for everybody, at that too. It really isn't. Some people may find ways to suppress, by using, substances that may not be great, which there is no good out of that whatsoever. Being that I am a creator, I have found a technique, when things start to be really challenging and I feel the pain, internally, I go straight to creating. I don't know what it is. It's like the light to the, the match, like to be able to even create something deeper. I wish I could put it into more words, but I create so much. It brings out the passion I don't know, to create something that I've never thought I could create. Like I create the most great pieces when I'm in that heaviness, in that shadow. When I'm doing the shadow work, I get into that creative passion. I don't know. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but yeah, as awkward as it seems, it just seems like I get um, more into it, getting me out of that space of uncomfortability as well. So I just want to say, um, we're we're all feeling it in some level at this time, and just hang in there. Really put some work into yourself. Look into different meditations and affirmations to lift you up. This is the time where we need to get into our power, stay positive, keep that frequency, that vibration, and energy at the most highest level. As heavy as things may be, as crazy as things may seem, as wild as people may be, and not everybody's going to go in the direction that you're going to go into when you stay in your great self, when you stay positive. Cause and effect. What you do comes back to you tenfold. So if that's all that goodness, aside from what we're feeling inside, aside from the deception of whatever is outside of us, know that as long as you stay on that solid foundation for yourself and continue to love and be at peace and have compassion for yourself and others, I tell you, the return is going to be amazing. So stay out of the wickedness, stay out of that, deceit. Stay loyal to yourself so you can attract loyalty as well, and honesty. There are people out there. I am one. and anyone that need to hear this, like I needed to hear this, because I'm definitely going to listen to this again. I wish you well on your journey on this time, and look forward to next year, man. Great things are coming, whatever changes that come with the external forces of like however the world is moving. It's going to be, it's going through a cleanse. It really is. We're going through a cleanse. And when it's done, it's going to be beautiful. And those that haven't been doing any work and is just now jumping on this whole idea of like what's going on, and there will be a time, and definitely there's lots of teachers out there. There's a lot of people that have many experiences that you can look up or online, or you may encounter. Take advantage of that time and be at peace and see what comes up for you as well. But yeah, that was my whole talk for today. If anyone is interested, check me out. I am a handcrafted gemstone jewelry designer. I do have my own merch as well out there that I'm slowly building up, and I'm grateful for every opportunity of growth so far. So yeah, and you can check that out. My gemstone jewelry bracelets. The website is www.fmr1myshopify.com. And then you can check out my merch on Etsy, which is feminine masculine r1.sd.com. And you can also check me out on Instagram as well at FMR1, Feminine Masculine R1. On there will have websites on there, and you can also see what else I create. And then I also have a project that I'm working on for the future here where I'm at. I would like to create a foundation for the young youth here in Griffin, Georgia. I tell you, anyone in Georgia, Griffin, Georgia, I'm new here. I'm about a year in, and I'm from California. So since I've been out here, I've kind of seen where everything's going for the young youth, and there's really not much out here. And I do have a lot under my belt when it comes to creativity. There's so much more on that. But yeah, I would like to do that here in Griffin, just to kind of give these children another outlet to create, even see creators create, and so much more that I want to get involved with in the future. So creating all these little things of what I like to do. I would like to contribute some of what I've been doing through my business to create this foundation. So yeah, you can look that up on Heroes Project Journey 888 on Instagram. And it's basically that platform right now is just how I'm moving through every day. I do put little affirmations on there. I do put quotes. I do put a bit of what I do in my business in there, just to kind of get my feet wet on which way I'm going with it. And that this video here that you're listening into is part of Heroes Journey Project 888. Oh my goodness, I'm jumping on here like I'm FMR1, Miss May. Oh, I'm all over the place, guys. But I love you, anyone that's tuning in. I wish you well. I wish you a wonderful week, month, and know that you're not alone. And if you're doing it on your own, your return is going to be great. Just stay faithful to yourself and have compassion for yourself and others, and decide on who you're going to show up as. Who you're going to be on this planet. You attract what you are. And if you're amazing, you will attract amazing people. Peace and love. This is Miss May. Bye.